Welcome to an educational video by Patanjali Rishikul. Subject EVS 1, Class 5, Topic The Temperature Zones. Children, hope you all are well and studying at the same time. Hope you all have done the previous work and geared up for a new chapter. Today we will start with a new chapter, that is the temperature zones. The temperature zones. Children, have you ever wondered how a day is different from another day? How you feel a hot, suddenly you start feeling little bit cooler. A day is rainy and another day it's cloudy. It is all due to the weather. The weather keeps on changing. It's the change in temperature, it's the change in air pressure and the wind conditions. It could change within a very short span of time or daily. Whereas the climate of a place or a region is the weather of that place or a region over a longer period of time. For example, we live on plains and we experience over here extreme weather conditions. For example, it's very hot in summers and it's cold in winters. Whereas if you go to an hilly area, the weather over there is always cold. The climate of a region is greatly influenced by the following factors. Number 1, latitude. Number 2, altitude. Number 3, distance of the water body. Number 4, winds. Number 1, latitude. Latitude or the distance from the equator. Different latitudes receive different amount of heat from the sun. The further away a place is from the equator, the less heat it receives. That means the heat of the sun is directly on the, but as we move away from the equator, the sun rays become slanting and it takes a longer time to reach. So the heat is lost somewhere in the between, and near the poles you will see that it is colder. It is cold. Another important factor that has a direct impact on the heating of the earth is the length of a day. The longer a day lasts, the more time there is for the earth to absorb energy from the sun. Thus, longer days typically result in warmer days, while shorter days result in cooler days. That's why, children, in summer you have noticed that the days are longer. Days are longer, it's hot, while in winters the days are shorter. Shorter days, earth less amount of heat, while longer days, earth absorbs greater amount of heat. Number 2, altitude. Altitude. The air around us is not heated directly by the sun's rays. Instead, the sun's rays heat the earth and the earth heats the air. That means the air is not heated directly, but as the earth absorbs the heat, this heat is transferred to the air. That's why during summer season, if you go to higher altitudes means to a hilly areas. Hilly areas are above the sea level. Okay, so when you go to a higher altitude, you experience cold while it's being a summer month. In the same way, when you are in the plain at that very same season, you experience hot because the air is not heated directly by the sun, but it's heated by the heat of the earth. As we go up, the heat gets lost and the air starts cooling. Number third, distance from a water body. Coastal areas have a lower temperature range than the areas that are inland. If you go to Mumbai or Chennai, you will find that in any time of the year, it is neither too hot nor too wind. It's just because as the land heats up, the air above it rises up. Cool breezes from the sea flow in to take this place, cooling the land. In winter, the sea breezes bring warmth. As a result, coastal areas rarely experience extreme heat or cold, while inland areas. Number 4. Winds. Winds greatly affect the climate of a particular place, depending on their place of origin. For example, if a wind blows from a sea, it will be cool, and if a wind is blowing from a desert, it will be hot during the day. So children, I hope you must have understood the factors of the world. The temperature of a place depends on the amount of heat it receives from the sun. The heat is not uniformly distributed over the surface of the earth. While some places are hot, others are extremely cold. The amount of heat received by the surface of the earth depends on the angle at which the rays of the sun fall on that surface. Temperature zones of world. The surface of the earth is divided into different heat zones based on the intensity of heat energy it receives at different places. The torrid zone, the temperate zone, the frigid zone. The torrid zone. The region between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn is known as the torrid zone or the hot zone. It extends over both the northern and southern hemispheres. It is also known as tropical zone. The torrid zone represents the largest geographical zone on the earth. It covers an estimated 40% of the planet's area. The torrid zone is the richest of the 5 geographical zones, with its habitat supporting more animal and plant species than any other zone. The torrid zone is generally warm. It has a dry season. The temperate zone. The region between the Tropic of Cancer and Arctic Circle in northern hemisphere and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere are known as temperate zones. The temperate experiences a wide range of temperatures and precipitation where 4 distinct seasons such as spring, summer, autumn and winter are common. Every continent except Antarctica has at least a small portion of land in the temperate zone. The vast majority of the world's human population resides in temperate zones, especially in the northern hemisphere, due to its greater mass of land. Farming is a large-scale practice in the temperate regions due to the plentiful rainfall and warm summers. frigid zone. The region between the Arctic Circle and North Pole in Northern Hemisphere and Antarctic Circle and South Pole in Southern Hemisphere is known as the frigid zone. The frigid zones are the coldest regions of Earth and are generally covered in ice and snow. It receives slanting rays of the sun as this region lies farthest from the equator. Summer season in this region lasts for about 2 to 3 months and there is almost 24 hours sunlight during summer. The sun's rays are always slanting and provides less heat. Hopefully, you all have understood the 3 zones of the world, heat zones of the world, the torrid zone, the temperate zone and the frigid zone. Thank you. Hope you all understood the chapter and will be able to do the upcoming exercises. We will meet soon with a new chapter. Till then, take care. Goodbye.